Hi, I'm Renee Wilson. I'm the president of the PR Council, and we are here at Cannes 2018 with a very special guest. We have the chair of the PR jury, Stuart Smith.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Stuart is also, mind you, the CEO of the PR and Influence section within Ogilvy. Is that how I would say it?
That is correct.
Okay, good. So Stuart is hot off of his press conference where he shared with everyone the news of what won and why. And Stuart, can you tell our viewers what is the Grand Prix winner and why it won?
So the Grand Prix this year is from Trash Isles. It's called Trash Isles. It's actually a partnership for Lad Bible. So it was also in the media and entertainment section.
Wow.
So why did it win? One of the most important things, we set a bunch of criteria at the very beginning. We talked about the idea that everything that got to a gold, anything that got to the Grand Prix has got to be something that didn't just earn attention, it didn't just create noise, it earned media that was meaningful, it earned influence.
Yeah.
So that was one. The second thing is we wanted something that transcended borders, that really went sort of truly global. We wanted something, thirdly, there were other criteria, but thirdly, we wanted to see our craft woven in. This is an idea that could not have happened without people practicing a range of public relations and range of public affairs specialisms. This idea just could not have happened, and it was much more than a stunt. It was something that was truly innovative. So the idea at its centre was to take a sort of an orphan environmental issue, which is plastics in the oceans, which clearly is getting a lot of attention this year, but has been around for decades. They took that idea, they took an insight, which was that there's enough plastics in certain parts of the ocean to form an island the size of France.
Wow.
And the moment that you have an idea like that, you think, well, it's the size of France, and yet no one is representing this problem. Someone took that idea, flipped it on its head and said, well, look, it's the size of a country, let's make it a country.
My goodness.
So they went and they said, well, how do you turn anything into a country? And there are actually rules. The UN has a set of rules. So clearly someone that understands the machinery of government, of multinational organisations, went and they found the rules of how you make a country, and they used that. They took the insight, they took the idea, and they took some amazing imagery, and they created a campaign that really brought this from being an orphan issue right up the agenda, and actually has contributed, not just on its own, but there's a few other examples of where this has been done, but really put it up the agenda.
So because our viewers may not know this, what country did it come out of, and what agency?
So this came out of what an agency that would identify, I suppose PR people might identify it as an advertising agency. I'm not sure that they would identify themselves as an agency. BBDO. I forget the exact country.
Okay, no
off
problem.
The top of my head, which is sort of fine.
Well, do you know the region? Was there Europe? No. Okay.
No, it's really interesting. This idea didn't feel like an idea that sat in a particular country.
It was bigger than that, which is very cool. Yeah.
I think this is a very important thing that people need to hear. I think particularly viewers who associate with the PR industry. I feel like that's a phrase I'm using a lot. I'm not talking about PR agencies. I'm not talking about advertising agencies. We have many fewer entries than I would like from the PR industry. So talking about that, we've got about 481 entries that came in total 10 years ago, because this is the 10th year of the PR jury. Of those, 28% were from agencies that called themselves PR agencies 10 years ago. This year we have 2,100 entries, and we have 200 roughly from agencies that would currently self-identify as PR agencies. So we've gone from being 28% of the entries to being 10% of the entries. In 10 years, we've only increased our entries into Cannes by 80. So when the rest of the PR industry says to people, to me, why aren't we winning at Cannes? Frankly, in its first instance, it's a game of mathematics. So you have to be in it to win it.
That's right.
You've got to be here to really take part.
I agree, because it is so important, and I think what we're seeing, and you were a part of making it happen. Many of the agencies with Earned at the core are winning, not just in PR, but they're winning all over, and that's exciting too, because it just shows that what we do is needed for big idea thinking and to have ideas that really move the needle.
I think here's an interesting point. Obviously, Ogilvy has been on its own journey. I've been part of that journey, trying to think, well, if OPR used to do PR for Ogilvy, how is it that Ogilvy does PR? And that sounds like a deceptively simple question, but actually it's taken me on a journey. You know, I've been in the industry for 30 years, and my boss John has been amazing in helping me and allowing me to really think this through over a good 18 months. It's not an easy answer, but one of the answers I've come back to is we have a beautiful craft. We have a set of specialisms that we need to be proud of. There are things that PR people do that no other part of the marketing communications industry can do.
Right.
But here's the big but. For me, PR is no longer defined as the boundaries around 2,500 people and what might have been a P&L, where that P&L acts like a fence. PR is a bunch of amazing products and services that we deliver to integrated campaigns, but more importantly, I feel we're less of an organisation now and more of a religion, more of a movement.
With a lot of people at Cannes subscribing to that religion.
With a lot of people at Cannes subscribing to that religion. So even within Ogilvy, I would say some of our really, really good ideas that are earned first have come not from our traditional PR people, but from traditional creatives from other parts of Ogilvy. That is a beautiful thing, and we should celebrate it. If we can stop just being the people that distribute content, if we can stop being people that just create content, if we can be people that can create ideas, that is a beautiful future for PR people.
Sure.
We have got to stop thinking that we're marginalised and start embracing the idea that people want us as a creative force.
Was there, just about the ideas and being a creative force, was there other work that you saw that you want to call out that was particularly impressive? I know there was a ton of winners, but...
Yeah, look, we have to have the conversation about the KFC ad.
Yeah.
For those who weren't in the UK, you have to go and Google KFC chicken shortage. KFC basically ran out of chicken in the UK. That was a big deal. Within a very short space of time, they came up with that beautiful ad which just said FCK with a short apology.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful idea, and it took an absolute disaster for the organisation as a brand and basically made them loved within the space of 24 hours.
So I was in the Hall of Work looking at what won. I saw that FCK ad in our category PR. I saw it in media. I saw it in print. I mean, is that going to be one of the big winners, do you think, of the festival this year?
Yeah, we gave it a couple of goals.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And again, you know, for those people in PR looking at that and saying, well, that's just an ad. That is not just an ad. That is an idea that earned attention, it earned influence, and it rebuilt their reputation in such a short space of time.
Yeah, interesting. I was listening to the print jury chair talk about how don't think of print as being a dead medium. It's more about how these all work together. So interesting.
It totally is. I think what we do is not about just earned. If we really understand earned influence, we earn influence for brands across paid, across owned, across shared, across everywhere. We need to expand our idea of what we do, not narrow it.
No, you're right. So just switching gears a little bit, because this was a different process for the jury this year. So for people that haven't been to Cannes or haven't been on the jury, can you explain the difference in that there were 40 people reviewing online before they got here?
Yeah, I think traditionally we have seen Cannes pick a number of people to be involved in the jury.
And so how does one get on the jury?
So getting on the jury it's not an entirely transparent process.
No, it's not.
But it is a process which I trust, because I've been on 2 or 3 juries and they're always a really interesting bunch of people, very, very diverse, and the Cannes people do take it very seriously. But ultimately it's meant to be a recommendation for the Cannes Lion representative in that country. So
yes,
that's the first thing. The second thing is it used to be just like maybe 20 people would go through the entire process of judging online all the way through to getting into the room and getting all the way through to the Grand Prix. This year, and also because people are looking to Cannes to sort of be, tighten up the efficiency and try and make it a little bit smaller and a bit cheaper for everyone, there are less people here. Not much less, but there are less people. So rather than sort of reduce the number of people judging online, they expanded the online jury to 40 from 20 and then cut the in-the-room jury to 10 people. Now, on the one hand, that expands the diversity of the people judging online, which is absolutely fantastic. We had over 50% female jurors. I was really comfortable with the diversity within the jury at all sorts of levels. Once you cut that down to 10 people in the room, we had a bit of trouble trying to make sure there were 50-50 women. We had Cam and I were just running around trying to make sure that happened.
Completely understand.
And we managed to make it happen, but not because of anyone's fault. Just I can't come. No, we asked someone else and stuff like that. So we managed to get a 50-50 jury. I don't think we had Asia well represented. There was only one person from Japan who was lovely, but I would have wanted a representative from China.
Yeah, it's hard.
And there was someone on the online jury, but I would like
Yeah.
that. But once you reduce those 10 people, you've got to make some choices about who's there. I feel comfortable that we brought the voices of those who weren't physically represented into the room.
That's great. And just so people understand, this is a big difference. I was on a couple of juries myself, and it was very much United Nations of marketing in the room, but I wouldn't say that my jury was as wholesome in terms of diversity as yours was, and mine was large. So I actually think that, do you feel like, because I know you've been on a few, do you feel this was a better process now that it's smaller in the room?
I think everyone's paying super high attention to diversity. And everyone's, we actually, even within our jury, we would put stuff up on the wall. I'd stop people at, say, 10% of the awards, 20%, 30%. I'd look at them and go, is there any unconscious bias in here that's hiding in plain sight?
Nice.
And we talked about it.
That's great. That's so good.
We went and we just, someone had to stick up for the Middle East, so I know a bit about the Middle East, so I feel comfortable that we brought the voice into the room. I don't say it was perfect, but
right.
we did the best we could.
That's great. Well, I just want to thank you because I know you're a busy, wanted man right now, but thanks for joining us and providing this insight.
My pleasure.
Bye.